These two wooden pieces were found together. The top piece has a design on one side. What are they for? I think this is a butter mold. After butter was churned and washed, it was often pressed into a decorative mold to give it an appealing shape for serving at the table. This two-part wooden mold would be used for that purpose. The butter would be packed into the mold, and the top piece with the design, often a flower, a cow, or a pineapple, would act as a plunger, pressing the butter into the mold and imprinting the design on its top surface. The finished molded pat of butter would then be turned out onto a dish. This is made of wood slats around a wood core. It's 34 inches tall and 11 inches in diameter, marked SM Sicco, and found in the Northeast USA. What is it? This almost looks like a binnacle. A binnacle is the housing or stand that holds a ship's magnetic compass. It is traditionally built on the deck of the ship, in front of the helmsman. Binnacles are often cylindrical or conical in shape and are constructed from non-ferrous materials like wood and brass to avoid interfering with the magnetic compass inside. It would have had a glass top to protect the compass while allowing it to be seen. This looks like the main wooden body of one of these classic pieces of nautical equipment. This is a lightweight metal rectangular box with a soft plastic mesh that rolls when a crank is turned. It has holes to be mounted on something. It was found in the back of a library storage closet. What is it? This is maybe the stage for positioning a document in an old-school opaque document projector, also known as an epidioskope. An opaque projector is a device that can project an image of an opaque object, like a page from a book or a photograph, onto a screen. This device, with its rolling mesh, might have been an accessory for holding the document flat and allowing the user to scroll through a long document or a series of images under the projector's lens. Its discovery in a library storage closet is very fitting for this type of old audio-visual equipment. What did I find while urbexing? Urban exploring. I think it has something to do with sound or music. It's about 20 centimeters in length and 6 centimeters in width. It's a car radio, specifically a modern double-din car MP5 player. Double-din refers to the standardized size of the radio, which is 4 inches tall by 7 inches wide, about 10x 18 centimeters fitting your measurements. These are aftermarket car stereos that feature a large touch screen and can play video files, hence MP5 player, music from USB drives or Bluetooth, and often include features like a backup camera display and smartphone integration. This is the main chassis of one of these units, removed from a car's dashboard. A small black felt rectangle was found on a car bumper along with a dent. It looks as though it's been torn. What could it have come from? Have you been through an automatic car wash recently? This looks like a piece of the material from the large, rotating mops or brushes in a car wash. These brushes are made of strips of felt, cloth, or soft foam. It's possible that a piece got torn off during the wash and became caught under a piece of your car's trim. The other possibility, given the dent, is that it's a piece of the felt or fabric material from underneath a couch or a box spring that may have hit your car in the parking lot. This small metal tube with a rubber gasket or O-ring pierced the tire. It's hollow and has a notch in the narrow end. What is it? This is the center piping from a cylinder vape cartridge. Many vape cartridges, especially those for cannabis oil, have a central metal tube or chimney that the vapor is drawn through. The rubber O-ring would provide a seal between this tube and the mouthpiece or the cartridge body. The notch at the end might be for airflow. Like other hard, small pieces of vape hardware, these can unfortunately puncture a bicycle or even a car tire if they are dropped on the road. This handmade-looking box with lenses was found in a house bought from a couple who ran a printing business. It has a viewing tray, and things look smaller no matter which way you look into it. What is it? It looks like a common type of solar observation telescope, specifically a projection telescope. Instead of looking directly at the sun through an eyepiece, which is extremely dangerous, this type of telescope projects an image of the sun onto a white viewing screen, which is the viewing tray inside the box. The box itself is to shield the screen from ambient light, making the projected image of the sun easier to see. This is a safe way to observe sunspots and other solar phenomena. The image looking smaller might be due to the specific lens configuration. This is a spooky transparent guy in a plastic case. The finder found it on the ground in NYC a year or two ago. The insert is about the thickness of a piece of paper, and the transparency reminds them of a film negative. What is it? This is a slide, but not a standard 35mm one. It is a slide for a specific type of toy called a spooky slide projector. The linked eBay listing shows a projector that uses these small, individual plastic slide cassettes. Each cassette contains a single image, in this case, a spooky ghoul or monster. The child would insert this slide into the toy projector, which would then project the creepy image onto a wall. It is a fun, vintage children's toy. What is this black strap inside a Scottevest pocket? Scottevest makes clothes with a buttload of pockets. This is in the right front main pocket, attached at both ends. It's about 5 inches long, 3 inches wide, and is stretchy and elastic. This is a water bottle holder. Scottevest jackets are famous for their highly engineered pocket systems, designed to carry all sorts of gadgets and gear. This elastic strap, sewn inside a large pocket, is designed to hold a standard-sized water bottle upright and securely in place. This prevents the bottle from sloshing around or falling over inside the large pocket as you move, keeping it stable and easily accessible. It is a signature, functional detail of their design. This is a wire-wrapped wood frame in 2 pieces with plastic bits on the ends. It was found at an estate sale, and zip ties are holding the wires to the frame, suggesting it might be homemade. What is this electronic component? That looks like a homemade Balun, or a common mode choke for a ham radio antenna. A Balun is a type of transformer that is used to connect a balanced antenna, like a dipole, to an unbalanced feed line, like a coaxial cable. A choke is used to stop radio frequency currents from flowing on the outside of the coax cable. This one, with its coiled wire, likely coax cable itself, wrapped around a wooden frame, is a classic DIY design for an air core Balun or choke, a very common project for ham radio operators building their own antennas. What is this wavy metal hand tool? The finder's guess is it's a funky ruffle potato chip cutter. The finder's guess is spot on. This is a vegetable crinkle cutter, also known as a wavy knife or a crinkle-cut knife. It is used to cut vegetables like potatoes, carrots, or zucchini with a decorative, wavy, or ruffled edge. It's most famously used for making crinkle-cut French fries, but it's also great for adding a fun texture to vegetable platters or for making pickles. The wavy blade creates the distinctive crinkled shape as you press it through the vegetable. This is a wooden box with what looks to be foot pedals in it. It was seen on Facebook Marketplace. What is it? The commenter has used these and knows it's a filing box. The wooden piece that looks like a foot pedal is actually a follower block. It is a movable partition that slides along a track in the bottom of the box. Its purpose is to keep the files, index cards, or papers stored in the box, standing upright and compressed, even if the box is not completely full. It prevents the papers from flopping over. It is a standard feature in many types of index card files and filing drawers. This large industrial equipment, a possible downhole tool, is 6 feet tall and 4 feet in diameter. It has several drilling heads on it. It was seen on the back of a Southeast power truck in Shelby, NC. What is it? This is a Center Rock XLP drill head. This is a large diameter cluster drill, a specialized piece of equipment used for drilling large holes in rock for things like foundations, utility poles, or mine shafts. Instead of a single large drill bit, it uses a cluster of smaller individual pneumatic hammers, the drilling heads, working together. This design can be more efficient and requires less torque than a single massive drill bit. Center Rock is a major manufacturer of these large-scale rock drilling tools. Small, round, hollow plastic. It looks like it was ripped in half. A few of these were found underneath the car seats and near the wiring of a used car. They are very lightweight, and you can sort of squeeze them. What are they? It's a paintball half shell. A paintball is a thin-skinned gelatin capsule filled with a water-soluble, non-toxic paint. When a paintball is fired and hits a target, it breaks open, leaving a paint mark. These are the two halves of the gelatin shell of a paintball that is broken open. Finding them in a used car suggests the previous owner played paintball and had some loose paintballs in their gear bag that broke open, scattering these shell fragments inside the car. This is a black Gorilla metal key, about 1.5 inches. What is it for? This is a locking wheel lug nut key. The brand is likely Gorilla Automotive Products, a major manufacturer of wheel locks and lug nuts. This is the special socket, or key, that is required to remove a set of anti-theft locking lug nuts from a car's wheels. Each set has a unique, computer-generated pattern, and this key is the only thing that will fit it, preventing thieves with standard tools from stealing the wheels. It is a critical tool that should be kept safely in the vehicle at all times. This small, few cm long, very light metal object was found in an old sewing toolkit. It can be opened, and inside is another metal object with an A and a small hole on both ends. What is it? It looks like a pitch pipe for tuning instruments. A pitch pipe is a small device that produces a specific musical note when you blow into it, used as a reference for tuning an instrument or for singers to find their starting note. The A on the internal reed indicates that it produces the note A, which is the standard tuning note for many orchestras. Its presence in a sewing kit is a bit of a mystery, but it might have been kept there for convenience by someone who was both a seamstress and a musician. This is a stainless steel folding hook, about 5 centimeters across. What is this tool? It's a folding hoof pick. A hoof pick is an essential grooming tool for horses. It is used to clean out dirt, mud, stones, and other debris from the underside of a horse's hoof, which is crucial for the horse's health and comfort. This one is a folding pocket knife style version. This makes it compact and safe to carry in a pocket, which is very convenient for trail riders or for anyone who needs to have a hoof pick readily available when they are out with their horse. What are these black wires that go from a street light to the middle of the road, seen in New Westminster, BC, Canada? There were 2 of them on opposite sides of the street. These are not wires, but rubber hoses that are part of a pneumatic road tube traffic counter. The 2 thin black rubber hoses are stretched across the road and are connected to a data logger box chained to the lamppost. Each time a car's tires pass over a hose, it creates a puff of air that travels down the hose and triggers a sensor in the logger. By using 2 hoses spaced a short distance apart, the device can not only count the number of vehicles, but also measure their speed and direction of travel. This black plastic thing resembles a syringe and was found with a secondhand coffee machine without an instructions manual. What is it and how do you use it? This instrument is used as a funnel or pipette to prime the coffee maker's circuit. Sometimes, especially when an espresso machine is used for the first time or after it has been stored for a long time, an air bubble can get trapped in the water pump, preventing it from drawing water from the tank. This tool is used to introduce water directly into the machine's water circuit, purging the air bubble and allowing the pump to function correctly. It is a specific maintenance tool for priming the pump. Found in a flat being rented in Italy, this seems to be wooden and something related to clothing. What is it? This is a valet stand, sometimes known as a dumb butler. It is a piece of bedroom furniture designed to hold a man's suit or outfit for the next day, keeping it neat and wrinkle-free. It typically has a shaped hanger for a suit jacket, a bar for hanging trousers, a tray for small items like cufflinks and a watch, and sometimes a shoe rack at the bottom. It is a classic and elegant piece of furniture for an organized gentleman's dressing routine. This is a heavy black metal rectangle with a rotating handle on top that spins a metal disc under 4 metal tabs. On the bottom are 2 connected gears. The attached tag reads Rotary Commutator, found in a thrift store. What is it? The label is likely a typo or a misnomer. It probably should say Commutator. This looks like a demonstration model or a component from a DC electric motor or generator. A commutator is a rotary electrical switch in certain types of electric motors or generators that periodically reverses the current direction between the rotor and the external circuit. The metal disc under 4 metal tabs is the commutator itself, made of copper segments, and the tabs would be the brushes that make contact with it. This is a core component of how a brushed DC motor works. Found in the spot where a car was parked, this is black, rubbery, and roughly 2 centimeters in diameter. It's almost circular, but has a straight cut along one side and a hole in the center. What is it from? Is it one of the little washer things that holds the corner of a car floor mat down? Many cars have 1 or 2 small posts, or hooks, that stick up from the floor carpet. The car's floor mat has a hole that fits over this post. This small rubber or plastic washer, clip, is then used to lock the mat onto the post, preventing the floor mat from sliding forward and potentially interfering with the pedals. These can sometimes come loose and fall off. Found in an old house in the Ozarks, this is very light and smoothly finished. The inscription says, "Handmade 588," and is signed. It's a flat, shuttle-like tool. A lighter is shown for scale. What is it? This is a fishing net mending needle or a net-making shuttle. This tool is used to make or repair fishing nets. The line or twine is wound around the central part of the shuttle. The user then passes the shuttle through the mesh of the net to create the specific knots that form the net's structure. The forked end with the tongue helps to guide the twine and tighten the knots. It's a very old and fundamental tool used by fishermen and net makers around the world. The signature indicates it's a handmade piece from 1988. This object was given to the finder with art supplies. It looks like the tip of a stylus and is made of wood. The black nib feels like rubber or plastic. What is it? That's a combination phone stand and stylus. The main wooden body is designed to act as a small, portable stand for a smartphone, allowing for hands-free viewing. The black nib at the end is a capacitive stylus tip, designed to be used with touch screens on phones and tablets. It provides a more precise input than a finger, which can be useful for drawing apps or for navigating on a small screen. It is a simple, often promotional, multifunction tech accessory. This rotating drum thing was found in a grandpa's garage. The inside drum spins via an electric motor underneath. The finder thought it was a honey extractor, but the drum seems too small. Grandpa was a car mechanic. What is it? It is. A Google search for the brands Sicco and Elbtalwerk brings up devices that look like that. This is a clothes spinner or a spin dryer. Before modern washing machines with high-speed spin cycles became common, this was a separate appliance. After washing clothes, you would put the wet garments into the perforated drum of this machine. The motor would spin the drum at a very high speed, using centrifugal force to extract a large amount of water from the clothes, which would then be drained out. This significantly reduced the time the clothes needed to hang on the line to dry. This is a small vial with no label. The dropper has a weird bulb-like tip. It was found on a shelf. What is this mystery liquid? It could be anything, but the commenter's best guess is some kind of oil. They have had identical bottles for beard oil and for essential oils. The dropper with the bulb-like tip is designed for dispensing small, controlled amounts of a liquid. Another possibility is a medical ointment for in-ear application. The common thread is that these vials are typically used for cosmetic or therapeutic oils that are meant to be applied in small, precise drops. The question, was there a tea light thing with a bowl on top close to it, suggests it might be an essential oil for an aromatherapy diffuser. This gun accessory and pouch was found on the side of a road. It's 4 inches by 1.5 inches, mostly black plastic, with a metal coating on one side with an oval pattern. It has Smith & Wesson branding. What is it? This is a hone or a small knife sharpener, likely a promotional item from the firearms manufacturer Smith & Wesson. The metal-coated side with the oval pattern would be the abrasive surface, which is often coated with industrial diamonds. The user would draw their knife blade across this surface to sharpen it. These small, portable sharpeners are popular with hunters, campers, and anyone who carries a pocket knife, making them a fitting accessory to be branded by a company like Smith & Wesson. This is a large, round thing on concrete, made of many pieces of metal stitched together. It's beside a walking path near a river. The handled black lid is about the size of a dinner plate. What is it? This could be a geocache. geocaching is a real-world outdoor treasure hunting game using GPS-enabled devices. Participants navigate to a specific set of GPS coordinates and then attempt to find the geocache container hidden at that location. The caches themselves can be any size or shape, from tiny magnetic containers to large, elaborate ones like this one. This large, unusual, and publicly accessible object on a walking path is a perfect candidate for a clever and creative geocache hide. The lid would be for accessing the logbook inside. This white foam-like material on cardboard was found under a mother-in-law's car in the morning. It wasn't windy, so how it got there is a mystery. What is it? It looks to me like a piece of Kraft-Faced fiberglass Batt insulation. This is the common type of insulation used in the walls and ceilings of houses. It consists of a thick batt of pink or yellow fiberglass insulation with a paper or foil facing, the craft paper, on one side that acts as a vapor barrier. It may have fallen off a construction truck or out of a garbage can and then been blown or kicked under the car. It is a very common construction material. This is for a 10-year-old's backpack. It feels like an eraser but is heavier, and the holes don't go all the way through. A classmate gave one to everyone. What is it? In another post, someone commented that it looks like a piece from an ankle weight, and upon searching, it looks to be a match. Ankle weights and wrist weights are often made of a fabric sleeve with multiple pockets, each filled with one of these small, heavy bars. This allows the user to adjust the total weight by adding or removing individual bars. This is just one of the small weight bars that has been removed from a larger set. Why a classmate was handing them out is another mystery. This old, rusty, cylindrical object was found by a river in the southern island of Japan. It's at least a few meters tall. What is this piece of industrial equipment? This is a concrete mixer, specifically the drum from a large industrial concrete mixer, likely from a concrete plant or a large construction site. The large drum rotates to mix the cement, sand, gravel, and water to create concrete. The spiral blades on the inside of the drum mix the components when rotated in one direction and then push the mixed concrete out when rotated in the other direction. This one has been discarded and has rusted over many years. What was this a base to? It looks familiar. It was found by a real estate office. This is a table leg, but it's sitting upside down. This is the pedestal base for an extendable dining table. When the table is in its smallest round or square configuration, the two halves of this base would be together, forming a single, 4-footed pedestal. To extend the table, you would pull the two halves of the tabletop apart. The pedestal base also splits in half, and you would then insert one or more leaves into the middle of the tabletop to make it longer. This is one of the two matching halves of that pedestal base. This plastic and metal kitchen implement has rubber feet, tips. It was found in a drawer of a grandmother's small kitchen implements. A pencil is shown for scale. What is it? This looks like the bottom part of an automatic pot stirrer. An automatic pot stirrer is a kitchen gadget that you place in a pot on the stove. It has a battery-powered motor on top and a set of legs with silicone or rubber feet that sit in the bottom of the pot. When turned on, the device rotates and sweeps the bottom of the pot, automatically stirring sauces, soups, or custards to prevent them from scorching. This is just the bottom, leg part of that device. The motor unit is missing. These are green, toonie-sized anchors or markers in a concrete ceiling. They are on the cables, attaching lighting to the ceiling, but also on the ceiling where there is no cable. What are they for? These are bonding fasteners, or adhesive-ready nuts. They are used to attach a threaded connector to a surface, like a concrete ceiling, using epoxy, instead of having to drill a hole and use a traditional anchor. You would glue this fastener to the ceiling. It then provides a threaded stud or a female thread to which you can attach things like the support cables for lighting fixtures, conduit, or other hardware. The reason there are some without cables is that the installers likely put up more than were needed, or the layout of the lights was changed after the fasteners were installed. Found in the yard, this is a small, hard plastic object, about as round as a quarter and concave. The inside has one hard nub. The outer part has more nubs. What is this? If you smash it flat on a flat surface, does it pop and launch itself into the air? This is a pop-up or popper toy. It is a small hemispherical piece of flexible rubber or plastic. You invert it by pressing down on the top. When you then place it on a hard surface and release it, the stored energy in the inverted dome is released, causing it to snap back to its original shape and launch itself several feet into the air with a satisfying pop. It is a classic and simple physics toy. This is a 12-Fat-Sex 10-inch cast iron box with holes on the side of a Chicago building from the late 1920s. It has an electric supply running to it and a logo of 3 A's stacked in a triangle. It's not a mailbox, as there's no slot. What is it? Someone once told the Commutator it was used to let fire departments turn off alarms. This is likely a key access box for the building's fire alarm system. The logo is likely that of the alarm company, perhaps COAA, or a similar name. In the event of an alarm, the fire department would arrive and use a special, standardized key to open this box. Inside, there would be a switch to silence the building's alarm bells while they investigate the source of the alarm. It provides emergency responders with a way to control the alarm system without having to break into the main control panel. Found in a river in Scotland, this has 2 roughly spaced holes on each prong, presumably to affix it to wood. It's approximately 35 centimeters long. The most similar item found online is a medieval battering ram tip. What is it? This goes on the end of a wood post, so it can be rammed into the ground easier. These are called pile points, pile tips, or pile shoes. When driving a wooden piling, a large timber post, into the ground to create a foundation, especially in difficult or rocky soil, this pointed metal shoe is attached to the bottom of the pile. It protects the toe of the wooden pile from being splintered or damaged as it is being driven into the ground, and it helps the pile to penetrate the soil more easily. The holes are for bolting or nailing it securely to the end of the timber. What are these white tubes along a forest trail in Minnesota? They are 3 to 15 feet apart, about 5 feet tall, and some have little nets on top. The tubes protect tree saplings from grazing animals. These are tree shelters or tree tubes. They are used in reforestation and conservation projects. A young tree sapling is planted, and this plastic tube is placed around it. The tube creates a mini greenhouse environment that can accelerate the tree's growth, and most importantly, it protects the vulnerable young tree from being eaten by browsing animals like deer, rabbits, and voles. The nets on top are to prevent birds from flying down into the tubes and getting trapped. The local historical society is stumped. This solid iron object is around 4 feet in length. It was found in their storage. The area is known for agricultural history. It has no hinges or moving parts. What is this heavy-duty tool? This looks like a carrier for moving hot crucibles in a foundry or a forge. A crucible is a ceramic or graphite container used to melt metal. After the metal is molten, the extremely hot crucible is lifted out of the furnace. A tool like this one, with a central ring to hold the crucible and a long handle on each end, would be used by 2 people to safely lift the crucible and carry it to the mold where the molten metal is to be poured. The long handles keep the workers at a safe distance from the intense heat. These are metal rings linked together with chain links. What are they? It's a fidget toy. Specifically, this is a type of chainmail or bike chain fidget toy. They are designed for people who need to keep their hands busy to help with focus, stress relief, or anxiety. The user can flip, roll, and manipulate the interconnected rings and links in their fingers. The smooth, repetitive motion and the tactile sensation of the cool metal can be very calming and satisfying. They are a popular and discreet type of sensory toy or everyday carry, EDC item. In the film House of Guinness, the character James Rafferty uses this weapon. It seems like some sort of anvil made to look like cast metal. What is it? After watching the part in the film, the commenter identifies this as a Cooper's downright shave. This is not a weapon, but a specialized woodworking tool used by a Cooper, a barrel maker. It is a type of large, heavy draw knife with a specific blade profile. It is used for shaping the staves, the wooden planks that make up a barrel. The character in the film is likely using this formidable-looking tool as an improvised weapon, but its original purpose is in the traditional craft of barrel making. This was found in a river under a bridge. It is very heavy, probably around 10 pounds, and measures 8 to 3,001 inches. It seems to be some sort of softish metal. What is this? This is an Indian yantra, specifically the Rahu yantra. A yantra is a mystical diagram with geometric symbols used in Hindu astrology and traditions. The Rahu yantra is used to reduce the perceived negative effects of the astrological planet Rahu and to attract positive energy related to ambition and success. It is placed in specific locations as a protective object. Rahu is considered a malefic celestial body in Vedic astrology, symbolizing the head of a demon that causes eclipses. Devotees use the yantra to seek protection from hidden enemies and overcome karmic blockages. Found in the woods on the outskirts of Brno, Czechia, this is a plastic object with metal components. Googling multi-geo doesn't clarify what it is. A hiking pole is shown for scale. What is it? This looks like a survey benchmark or a survey marker. Surveyors place these permanent markers at specific points on the ground that have a precisely known location, latitude, longitude, and elevation. These benchmarks then serve as reference points for all other mapping and construction work in the area. They are often made of a metal rod driven deep into the ground with a cap that has a precise marking on it and are sometimes protected by a plastic collar like this one. Multigeo is likely the brand of the surveying equipment or the marker itself. This red diamond-shaped object is the size of your hand. What is it? This is the fur shark, a multi-edge pet hair remover. It is a simple but effective tool for removing pet hair from upholstery, carpets, and clothing. It is typically made of a semi-rigid silicone or rubber material. The different edges of the shark have different patterns of teeth or squeegee-like blades. By dragging these edges across a fabric surface, the tool gathers up and collects embedded pet hair with surprising efficiency. It is a popular and inexpensive cleaning gadget for pet owners. This small metal circular cap cover with screw rivets on the inside was found on the floor of a car. What is it? This is the decorative nut that holds the glass shade onto an indoor light fixture, like a ceiling light or a wall sconce. The light fixture has a threaded post that the glass shade fits over. This decorative cap or nut then screws onto that post, holding the glass shade securely in place. These screw rivets on the inside are just the threads. It likely came loose from a light fixture in the house due to vibration, fell to the floor, and was then unknowingly tracked into the car on someone's shoe. If you love uncovering strange and mysterious objects, hit that like button and subscribe. Stay curious. More finds coming soon.